Guten Tage alles. Wie gehen Sie? Gut, ja? Well, last night I got my face melted by an excellent German band called Electric Callboy. And to kind of keep that theme going, I have a German coffee. I have Dallmayr's Prodomo blend or roast. I've got their whole beans this time, so I'll have to make that extra step. But I took a couple of years of German back in the schooling days, and I thought it was super cool to find a German coffee in the area. It happened to be in my local Marshall store for sale. So I thought, I knew I was coming to a German band concert the night before, so I was like, got to keep that German theme going. And a slight bonus on this one, I love good history, and this company has a lot of history. In fact, it's got right around 300 years worth of history. It was founded, pardon the squeak, back in 1700 in München, aka Munich, Germany, by Christian Reiter, kind of like a precursor business, and it was purchased in the 1870s by, I'm probably butchering the first name here, Alois Dallmayr, and that's actually the name the entire business has today. So almost 250-ish years, no, right around 250 years of having that Alois Dallmayr name. And in 1895, so he had it roughly 25 years himself, sold it to a couple called Teresa and Anton Randolkofer. And interesting enough, Anton ended up passing away, and Teresa became basically the showrunner of the entire business. And she's pretty much noted for being a super successful businesswoman, which is super uncommon back in those days. So good on Teresa for getting after it. And they actually didn't really get into the coffee business until the 1930s when a coffee merchant from Bremen, Konrad Werner Wille, came to München and established their coffee department in the Delikatessenhaus Dallmayr that still exists today. It's actually supposedly a pretty big tourist hotspot in München. I've actually been to München, and surprisingly, I didn't stop by this place, which seems weird, but I was also on a high school trip, so, they make you hit the big things, and you can't really meander off on your own. Enough of me, because there's still another cool part coming. I know, like a lot of reviews, corporations have come in and bought out family businesses. So back in late 90s, early thousands, Nestle did step in, purchased around 50% of their coffee business, and eventually they bought some of that back out to about 25% in 2003. But then in 2015, Alois Dallmayr ended up buying the rest of Nestle out of the coffee business. So this is completely back in the family again. It's actually being run by some of the descendants of Teresa and Anton Randolkofer. So that's super cool. I'm excited to take this this German coffee, put it with this European mutt of a Dakotian mug, see what we get. right, got my freshly brewed Prodomo Prodomo from Dallmayr. And like I said, I was first drawn to it because I saw some Germaning on the packaging. Packaging itself does have a crown on it, and I guess one thing I forgot to leave out in the history of the company is they are similar to the Swedish brand I've already reviewed. They are considered royal purveyors, so they actually provide coffee for many royal houses in Europe, which is also very cool. The other thing I did like is, like I mentioned, a lot of the packaging has German on it, which of course it has English as well. But I really like that they include Polish and Spanish as well. So that way it gives it more of that international feel and kind of helps you stay true to, like, you know, this is German coffee and maybe you learn some German. That'd be an added bonus. But enough about their wonderful packaging. We'll get into the coffee. I like it. It's got a good scent to it. It's kind of like classic. Best way to describe it is almost like a cafe coffee kind of smell. I am not a sommelier or whatever the proper term is for coffee versus wine, but that's the best description I can give of that for you. But for the taste, okay. All right, I've got this one down. All right, so Dallmayr Prodomo. Is it oof, meh, or oh yeah? Well, it's not a meh. I've been kind of hitting solid mehs lately. This one is not a meh. This one for me, it is not an oof either. This one I actually found quite enjoyable to drink. This one, before we get off to the races here, it's not like, oh yeah, this is a coffee you must have. Like, I gotta fiend after it, get it where you ever can. This one is not quite ausgezeichnet, outstanding or excellent. This one is good. I would say it's above kind of that good mat. It is like lower level good, if that makes any sense at all. Because like the flavor profile, it's just nice and I'm not even describing flavors. Whatever. Again, I'm not a sommelier. It just has a nice, smooth, easy drinking coffee. The flavor is there, but it's not overpowering, if that makes any sense at all. That's something I really treasure. It's got more flavor to set it out from these kind of mac coffees I've been having, but it's not overpowering for maybe someone that doesn't like strong coffees, strong coffee flavors. So for me, this is like a really solid, really good coffee. Not excellent, but very good. I would definitely have this coffee on hand if you maybe are having some people over and you're not quite sure of their coffee taste, but you want them to have a solid win. Then this one is definitely it for you. The company, unfortunately, I did look into it. I love having being able to direct link to companies so you can buy the coffee directly from them. Unfortunately, for this case, if you live outside of the EU, they do not ship to you. So as much as I hesitate to do it, I'll be including a third-party seller's link in the description of where you can get your own bag of coffee to try for yourself. If you have tried it for yourself or you want to try it for yourself, feel free to leave a comment below on what you think or what you're hoping to achieve here. And I'll also leave links below as well so you can pick up your own mugs from my store. And until next time, see you next time.